And we are live. Welcome to the Bearded Chat podcast. I'm your host, Luke Swenson, and today we are going to be introducing, there's quite a bit of changes that happened in the last year.
There have been.
And a bit. And I've got a co-host now, Teejay Halkias.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome on board, man.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
Pretty excited to have you on board. Just kick things off. What do you think of the new setup?
The new setup is great internally. There's an abattoir next door.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not a fragrant abattoir.
Well, it's only on certain occasions that it happens. So, but no, we thought we'd change up the vibe a bit to be not so much. The other one's really formal, and it was really good for long form conversations. But I wanted to have a bit chilled. So, again, if we've got like 4 guests, we're all spread out. We've got another couch that plugs in and stuff. So, but a bit more casual, like if
casting couch vibes.
Yeah, one of the crews around and they want to jump in, we can just like swap in and they can add their 2 cents worth as well. So
absolutely.
But
room for guests.
Exactly. So all 4. 4's max. I don't want to.
If you want to be a guest,
we'll check you out.
Yep.
Man, thanks so much for joining us.
Awesome.
So a little bit about you. Just top line. I met Tejay probably was it during COVID in lockdowns?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago now. And he's unfortunately dating a candidate for Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Did all right, mate. He's batting way above average.
It's
Caitlin.
hard. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, you're a good looking rooster anyway. And so you have a pretty varied background. You semi-pro, pro footballer in Adelaide.
Very semi.
and still playing up here in Brizzy, and then also pretty crazy career as well in sales, which I love because that's my jam.
Makes the world go round.
So how did you start off into footy, man?
Actually, this is my 20th year playing footy.
Holy shit.
How crazy is that?
20
years ago.
You're 21?
I started playing footy. 26. If you look up close, I've got a lot of grey hairs. So
fuck off.
You'll see that. But yeah, so I started footy in Adelaide when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
At a club called North Pines, just this little club next to my primary school. We were the Redbacks. Great song. We'll talk about that later.
Awesome.
So yeah, started playing. I just love the sport. I come from I'm half Indian, half Greek.
Yeah, okay.
So not a real AFL.
Everyone will be curious who's watching on YouTube because you're a good looking dude. He's one of those guys who's got he's tan as fuck, but he's got his green eyes. You know those crazy photos you see out of India.
Just
got all the fucking talent, mate.
Luck of the draw. No, I'm vertically challenged though, so that had to pin me down somehow. So yeah, started playing 20 years ago, and just I think being a ADHD overactive kid really helped me as well.
Yeah.
So my parents wanted me out the house to burn some energy off, and this was a good excuse to do so, and I just happened to be okay at it. I don't think I was okay at it to begin with, to be honest. I think I just ran way more than everyone else. So
what position were you playing?
Well, I guess growing up, you play kind of everything when you're 6, 7, 8, but I guess I based my footy around playing midfield to begin with, which I enjoy. I enjoy being around what happens all the time. So obviously, whether there's ball ups, I don't know how many AFL fans there are out there that know.
Yeah, there'll be a few.
Not in Queensland anyway, but so obviously being around the ball.
What are you talking about? Lions, Smoker, and the bloody Bears back in the day.
Brisbane Bears, that's sort of back a bit.
Yeah,
Mark Nicken was my old footy coach at West Adelaide. He's a Brisbane Bears ruckman.
Awesome.
Yep. So, started playing for those guys. I think up until 12 years old, had a few different sort of local teams through then, and I think around 12, 13, it starts to get a little bit serious when you're a little bit better.
Yeah.
You start to play like the rep team. So the two
you obviously got into them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was in the Port Adelaide zone. I was in actually the Central District zone and then the Port Adelaide zone. So it's called the Youth Development Program. And that's what sort of builds you into playing the SANFL.
Awesome.
Hopefully in the AFL, which I didn't do.
Yeah.
Plot twist. It was awesome. I think footy, sport in general, is just such a great thing for kids growing up to meet people and find out who they are as a person and just build confidence as well. So I think that's what sort of platformed me into maybe even having a career in sales too, and learning to know people and know them a bit deeper as well, and being able to talk and communicate to people was a big help too. So Yeah.
Awesome. And so you got into these rep teams, and then you obviously got selected for that high grade, or
Yeah. So I started playing reserves. So reserves is like your 17, 18, 19, 20. Well, there's older blokes.
What club were you
reserves.
playing for?
Port Adelaide.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
In the SANFL. So I started playing reserves when I was 15.
Awesome.
Which was like a pretty good thing for me back then. There's lots of 18, 19-year-old kids, and that's how you start to get noticed. So
Yeah.
I think for me that was awesome. And it was really full on to begin with. We'd train 3 to 4 times a week, running, ball skills, gym.
Yeah.
You'd play on a Saturday, recover on a Sunday. So it's like having a full-time job.
And this is during school as well, hey?
During school,
Yep.
So trying to juggle all that. My parents weren't really happy because I'd rather kick the footy than I'd do my maths homework or something like that. So, but I was passionate about it, and my parents knew that, so they were kind of cool with that too. So yeah, footy started getting a bit serious. I think around
What
15.
position?
Midfield.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that transitioned when I got a little bit older and a little bit not as big as everyone else.
Yeah. Everyone at their puberty.
Yeah, I was like 60 kilos ringing wet, and everyone else was like 6'2", dairy farmer, 110 kilos that had just wanted to hurt me.
110 kilos.
No, that's a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I was in rugby and I was light as
There was some big kids though. So yeah, I started playing midfield and predominantly wing actually because I was a little bit lighter, a bit more agile.
Yep.
And just could run for days. I used to be a pretty good long distance runner.
Yep.
So for footy, we used to do 3K time trials, and I was first or second. It was either me.
What was your PB?
My best ever 9:48.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So they transitioned that into 2K time trials.
Mine's 8:01.
Holy, yeah. I mean, I didn't go to college.
Yeah, I did. I was okay. I was okay running.
Just okay.
National champion. I'll go back to my class.
I've got the medals. I've got the medals at home. So, no, won a few accolades through footy too. So I think I was better when I was younger because no one was. We're all kind of the same height and ability.
What do you think? Just your ball skills,
I think,
and reading of the game earlier on, because that's a huge thing. Like if someone can read the game better, you don't have to be the best player, but you can read the game.
You know what's happening.
Yeah, you can put yourself in places and.
Yeah, footy IQ. I don't even reckon it was that. I think I was just athletic, and I could kick and handball pretty well. So, I think the more times you get the ball, you look like you're a better player.
Yep.
But it's also about how you use it as well. So, I won, I think 5 best and fairest for my club.
Yeah,
growing
unreal.
up until 16, and a couple runner-up league medals as well. So.
Awesome.
It was good, and then it gets a lot harder when you start playing for those sort of rep teams like Port Adelaide and.
Just put your mic on mute, bro. Nope. It's definitely not muted. I can hear everything.
This is what happens when you get those uni kids, man.
No, he's a gun.
So it starts to get really serious, and everyone's really talented. They come from out in the country, Cleve, bloody Port Lincoln, everywhere, and those kids just play footy all the time. So
when you're in the development squad with Port, and so what was your career after that? Because when you graduated school, did you go straight full time into there, or
no? So I did a few pre-seasons for like I think probably 8 to 12 weeks with the Power, the AFL team. They probably just needed some top up players, but they pick some of the ones that they
try and drag you through.
Yeah. Try and fill some spots for them, I guess, and fill some numbers at training. So that was a great experience. I was actually working as a pick packer at the time. I just finished my long 5-year career at McDonald's.
Yeah, nice.
So I was qualified barista. Thank you, guys.
Oh, McCafe.
Yeah. So
free plug for Macca's.
Yeah, illustrious. Sponsor me. So yeah, I finished at McDonald's and went pick packing because I needed to have a job that paid well.
Yeah.
But also,
I did too.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I worked for Toll.
No way.
I was getting I remember we had a little crew there who I knew, and that's what got me in.
Yeah.
It was the worst fucking job.
A horrible job.
And just different people.
Yeah.
And because it's such good fucking money. If you need it for cash, you were making bank. I think I'd always kick over and I'd be one of the last on, so I get at least 4 hours overtime just sweeping the floors. It's like $85 an hour.
It's ridiculous.
I'd work 3 days and then blow all my money on piss on the weekend with the boys.
Vodka raspberries. Yeah. So I was, it's funny that you said that you had like a crew that got you in there because my 2 brothers also work there as well. So that's why I went there.
What company?
IGA Distribution.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Findon Road, Adelaide.
Yep.
Shout out to them. They're no longer there. So I was doing that, and footy was my priority. So when I left school, I didn't have a plan B. I wanted to play AFL.
Which is the only way you should be.
Correct.
Like if you're gonna have a crack, you put it all in.
Yeah. So I think I had my shot. I just wasn't good enough. So I actually ended up losing that job.
Well, there's other people who are better.
Way better and bigger. I actually ended up losing that job because I was training with the power some mornings, and I'd obviously
Couldn't work.
if they were like, "Hey, do you want to train with us tomorrow morning?" I wasn't going to be like, "Oh man, I'm going to go pick boxes at 6 o'clock in the morning."
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I ended up just I was at home with mum and dad, sort of just living and playing footy, and got another job through that, and then I decided to leave Port and transition to West Adelaide, which is another SANFL team.
Mm-hmm. Why did you do that?
I just wanted more opportunity. I think Port was a affiliated team. So Port Adelaide Magpies was the SANFL team, but they were affiliated with the Power.
Yep.
So their league squad was whoever didn't play for the Power, and then their reserve squad was sort of like the next guys playing in for that. And if you were to play in the league team, you had to have one of 15 contracts, and there was 60 of us.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So like
hectic comp.
like cutthroat, and there's no. I guess when you go out there to play, you want to get the most stats because that's who plays the next, and that's who plays next week, and that's who gets those contracts. So for you're playing for your spot every week. So I got a phone call from Westies and come over. So when I did a preseason and was lucky enough to play for those guys, and we ended up playing in a reserves grand final the first year.
Cool. At the MCG.
No, in Adelaide.
Oh, in Adelaide.
Adelaide Oval.
I was like, oh, that would have been fucking amazing.
No.
But that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, that would have been sick. But it didn't happen. Yeah, we were just at Adelaide Oval, which is also sick.
Yeah. It's a good venue.
Man, but Adelaide being a footy state, you go to a local grand final and there's
South Australia being a footy state.
Being a footy state, yeah. Did I say that?
You said Adelaide.
South Australia being a footy state, Adelaide being a footy city.
Yes.
You go, at our grand final, I think we had probably 5,000 to 7,000 people there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is awesome. And then for the league one, they had, there's people start to roll in at halftime because they want to get there for the league game, and there ended up being like 10,000 people there. So it's incredible, awesome atmosphere.
Amazing.
We lost, so that sucked. I ended up playing one more season for West Adelaide, and then I played for a country team. I just took a step back and wanted to earn some guac.
Yep.
And they pay.
Because you're getting paid as well at the
You're
AFL.
getting paid.
What's it pay like when you're a junior?
Not great. We back?
We're back.
Back live?
We're back
All right.
again.
We had some technical difficulties there.
Sorry, guys.
We ran out of room, the hard drive, but this is why we did the test run before we start inviting
Correct.
official guests. It's just
It's
Tejay.
it's Barack Obama's on next, guys. So we want space for that.
So we're talking about footy pay, like at
Yep.
junior level. So all these young guns trying to come through.
So at junior level, before you start playing reserves, you don't get paid.
yeah.
So I think for a reserves game, we would. What was it?
So you pay per game.
Per game.
Okay.
Yep. So I think it was somewhere in the midst of like $75 to $150 maybe.
A game.
Yep.
Holy fuck! That doesn't even cover like a pair of boots.
No, it's not, and it's pretty.
Is it changed now? Like,
there's not heaps of money when you're going through that kind of thing.
yeah. Okay.
That's
That's interesting. I thought they'd like. Do they like have exceptions? Like if there's like a real gun,
think
and they're
so,
like,
But that wasn't me, so I
here's
wouldn't
a
know.
$1,500 every weekend.
It wouldn't be that high. I think our captain at the time. Sorry to drop you in this if he's listening.
That's all right.
I think our captain at the time playing league. I reckon your good league players maybe from $500 to $1,000 a game,
Yeah. Wow.
which is good.
That's all right. That's like.
And you're also working a job.
Yeah.
So that's just pocket money for the weekend, like
Yeah.
raspberries, that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for reserves, I think we'd get maybe $75 to $150 a game, which it's still cool. You're getting paid to do what you like.
100%. Yeah.
But there's a lot of commitment involved.
Yeah.
A lot of commitment. Ice baths, strapping, massages,
I
glute releases.
I suppose it weeds out the people who are really passionate about the game as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the system weeds you out.
Yeah. Okay.
The system weeds out those players that aren't
Soft.
Yeah,
Little
that
snowflakes.
that aren't built for it kind of thing. So it's preseasons were the worst thing alive. We used to do this thing called the snake pit in Adelaide. I hope there's some people on here that know about the snake pit, and it's this. I think it was like a 250 meter sand dune obstacle, well, not an obstacle course. I think it was just sand dunes, right?
Yeah.
And they had sort of made a track out of it.
Yeah.
And we would go there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning with metal beer kegs, tires, footies, weights, and it was on. They just wanted to break you.
Wow.
And
So like little mini Navy SEAL.
it was just honestly for an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever we did it for, it was just brutal. We had to do laps with water in our mouths, and if you didn't break the time that they want you to break, you got to do it again. If you don't come back with water in your mouth, you got to do it again.
Holy shit!
You drop your footy, you got to do a lap.
I like that.
And it's like it's hard. It's
yeah,
hard.
that's different because the training that I used to do when I was
At college,
at national and college in the States, we would do like I'd run 120k a week.
Wow,
was my base, and everyone
it
else
was your base.
Yeah, so but I didn't go any further than that because I had speed, so we didn't lose my speed.
Yep.
But there were other boys in my team; they were doing 180, 200k a week.
It's a
We'd go through a pair of
case.
shoes every 2 months because Nike
Wow.
sponsored the college, so we had new shoes just
Yep.
given to us. And I remember like Summer Sesh would do 22Ks on 1 minute's rest. And they
20 consecutive 2 kilometer runs.
yeah, so it's
1
a
minute rest in
loop
between.
and then 1 minute rest and then a loop and then the last, like you're doing like sub 5 minute
Right.
Ks.
Wow,
Yeah, it was hectic, but you could not do
that's insane.
water in the mouth on those. You're literally trying to gasp. I remember like in the wintertime, you're like burning your throat from like all
Yeah.
the fires that people had their fireplaces running.
Oh right, yeah.
And it's cold and smoke and you're just like dying.
My God, 22 kilometer runs in a
Yeah,
row.
bro, they were hectic. Yeah, our
Did you ever
coach.
get like shin splints or
Oh,
plantar fascia?
yeah,
or-
I'm about to go to the injuries next because that's why I'm interested about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like just it was just insane. Our coach was an ex-horse race trainer, so he literally trained us like
Wow.
horses. Yeah, it was insane.
And he ran like horses.
Yeah, well, he got results. He was a coach of the Papua New Guinea team as well.
Right.
So, but yeah, at the
That's awesome.
yeah, but that's tough, bro. But it's a totally different. Yours is more like mental.
Yep.
Well, they're both mental, but yours is like adding extra bits of torture.
It's insane. We used to do like sand. We had the sand pit at the back of the oval when we do wrestling, and they tell us not to come off. We didn't have any blood. Like it's insane. It's cool, but it's building the kind of play that they want for the club. Port Adelaide's known as like this gritty. Port Adelaide's not.
Yeah, it's tough club.
Yeah, it's not an admirable place to live to. So there's pretty rough people there. So that's the kind of footy that they want to play to, like tough, rough footy.
Yeah.
Never give up. You know what I mean? So
They're
that's
exciting to
what-
watch because of it, though.
Yeah, correct.
Like they're really physical. A lot-
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that and they, that's what they build and that's what they play like. So and that's how they'll forever do it.
So you were at West, and then what happened? Did you just finish your footy career?
No, well, I think at that level, yeah, I just was losing passion and I just wasn't keeping up with everyone else. I was
Okay.
losing interest. When it becomes a chore, I think that's when you know
Yep.
it's time to stop, maybe take a step back, and that's what I did. I went and played in the country in the York Peninsula.
Yep.
For a year. I was actually dating my ex that lived in Brisbane at the time. So
Yeah,
my
wow.
plan was to play for a year and then move to Brisbane.
Okay.
And get some money in the meantime. And that's actually where my sales career started as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that started. Footy finished.
How cool. So injury wise, what have you done?
I think I've only ever done 3 really serious injuries. My first one was my clavicle, my collarbone. I reckon I was 15 or 16, running down the wing, took a little bit too much time with the footy, and this guy we used to play at Port together in a rep team. His name was Snags, Benny Bioli, gun.
Yeah. Is he playing AFL now?
No.
Okay. He wasn't that gun.
I think he kicked 9-3 in a state game once.
Yeah,
9-3.
wow.
So he was a good player, but
Yeah.
loves beers. He's
Yeah,
a
okay.
good bloke. And he ran, I think he put his shoulder straight through my entire life. and I got up and I just fell down. And I was like, what is going on? And I got up and I couldn't lift my arm.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't lift my arm. So I went off and I was kind of like the trainer. I was like, oh, something's going on. You know when you get that hit and you're like, you get a cork and you're like, I can't move my leg. I was like, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
So put a little bit of strapping on. I went on and my dad saw me like trying to lift my arm, dropped it. And he's like, nah, let's get out of here.
Wow.
My collarbone was like up here. It was insane. It was a lot of pain. But so I was about 6 weeks out for that. My next one was my hammy.
Yep.
Typical footy. Sort of went to tackle, buried my foot in the ground, and my hammy just went, see ya.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was out for the second longest. So that was 7 weeks.
Yep.
And then my last one was my last year for West Adelaide. Now, this is our last trial game against Norwood. And so every year, our recruiters, they get guys from different states to come play for us
Yep.
that are aspiring to play AFL. And one of the new guys, he's playing forward line, and one of the Nord guys dropped a knee into his chest, and I was like, that's not on. I'm one of the older guys at the club now. That's not on. Older, I mean 21, 22.
Yeah.
That's not on. So the guy's going to jog past me, and I was like, I've got to do something.
Check him.
Got to get him. So instead of going for the bump, the 50-50 neutral, I went to go punch him in the gut with my left hand.
Oh, you dirty.
And he sidestepped me, and I punched him in the hip, and I shattered my CMC joint in my thumb, and I had to have 3 rounds of surgery.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, my thumb was backwards. And it was the last quarter, so I went up and I was like, fuck. Got the trainer to strap it, went back out. I think there was another 10 minutes to go. And the next day it was pretty sore, and then I got a call from my club doctor, and they were like, oh, we just need you to go see the hand surgeon tomorrow. They're probably just going to get a plastic mold put on it.
Yeah.
So that you can keep playing.
Yeah.
You might be out for a week. And I was like, oh, sick. So I went out and got pissed that night, Sunday night. I went to the Moseley in Adelaide with my mate Tyson. Shout out Tyson. And got so drunk. And it was weird because it wasn't crazy pain, but it was very swollen.
Yeah.
So I was like, I must have just strained a ligament or something, done something. And I see the hand surgeon. We get some x-rays, and he goes, there's 2 things in your thumb you don't want to break, and one's this other bone, I forgot what it's called, it starts with an R, I think.
Yeah.
And the other one's your CMC joint, and you've done that, so it's what sort of like connects your thumb and keeps it in its place.
Wow.
So I had to, that day I went straight in for surgery.
Wow.
Yep. So I think it was like 2 hours later I went straight in for surgery.
Were you out, or was it just...
Yep, went under.
Yeah.
They put a small incision in, put 2 KYs in my hand.
What's a KY?
It's just like a wire that pretty much like reattaches your
hands
thumb.
up, yeah.
So it pulls my thumb. So without it, my thumb would be sort of down there. And it's pull my thumb back
That's
in.
insane.
And so that's automatic 3 months off footy. I couldn't do gym because it's my hand. I couldn't run because I couldn't get the blood pressure too high in my hand and sort of move the wires. And I think it was about 3 weeks in, I started getting this incredible pain in the top of my hand, and I was like, man, I'm just being a girl. I'm being soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's surgery. It's gonna hurt. And sort of went another day, and I was like, nah, this is too much. Went back to the doctor, and I said, mate, I'm getting this incredible pain in my hand. They gave me endo, and I didn't take any. Stupid. No, think about it. It's probably still my blue Falcon that I sold. And I was like, man, I'm getting this insane pain. He's like, all right, we're gonna have to cut the cast off. Cut the cast off, and I've got this bubble on my hand like this. And
oh my God.
The KY had broken off of my thumb and was coming through my hand. And he's like, the doctor's like to me, what have you been doing? You must have been moving your thumb. And it's in a cast. How am I
probably rolled on it when you're sleeping or something.
The only movement I had was like that.
Oh my God.
And I was like, man, I haven't done anything. He's like, oh, I don't know what he was just thrown for a bit. And I was like, what do we do? He's like, I've got to put you back under. And I was like, what?
Dude.
I've got to take the wire out. So he's cut the top of my hand, pulled it out that way, and stuck another one in. So instead of having 2 rounds of surgeries to put them out, I've actually had to have 3 to take one out, put another one back in. That put me back another 3 weeks on the end of my
oh my God,
on the end of my rehab, and then another surgery to take him out, and then I think we had 4 weeks, probably would have had like 6 weeks left of footy, and I'd blown out a bit. I reckon I'd lost fitness. I'd lost all my aesthetics, my muscle and stuff like that because I just
hitting Hindley Street
with a cast on. So a lot of dedication from me. And so that I think it was kind of a mutual agreement between me and the club that I didn't come back the next year.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't in it, mentally, physically.
You have to be, because again, you can get really badly hurt as well.
Yep.
Like
you can, and you're a liability.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not fair to the other team members.
Yeah, so you become a liability, and you don't want to go take someone else's spot or compete for a spot and just not be there. So, So that was my last year at SANFL footy, and then went and played in the country the next year, which is just a different game.
Yeah,
it's just
wow.
Completely different game. You go from these guys that train 4 times a week on their skills and fitness to guys that train 2 nights a week and drink beers after the game and
more
fun.
social.
Way more social and fun. It's really, really fun. And I think the atmosphere is better. We'd get a few hundred people out to every game. And the country guys, the people, the farmers there, they love you because they recruited us. So I'd drive 2 hours to get every game. They bought us a
That's
little
insane.
van.
No wonder you were getting tired of it.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah. But they bought us a van that we drove to Adelaide. We'd get all of our, I think it was 10 of us that would play from Adelaide to play in York Peninsula. We'd all train in Adelaide.
Yep.
We'd get in the bus. We'd drive up there on a Saturday. they'd pay for the fuel, they'd pay for the upkeep of the van, for everything. They'd also pay us at the end of the game in a little envelope. We'd drive the van back.
How good.
It was awesome. It's honestly like you'd never paid for a beer. Like they were just such nice people.
Yeah, country folk are the best. I love going out west.
Yeah, it's different atmosphere. These guys are massive people.
Oh yeah,
Like they're farmers.
yeah.
And they just want to run
Fucking
through
lifting
you.
cows and
Yeah.
doing fencing and
They
stuff.
just smoke darts and kick footies. It's it's different out there, but it's really fun. I met some really good people out there as well.
Awesome.
And then at the end of that year, I moved to Queensland.
Who did you play who actually went through into the big boys league?
Who did I play with? Will Snelling, he plays at Essendon. John Noble, played at West Adelaide with him.
Yeah. What teams do they play for now?
John Noble plays at Collingwood.
Yeah.
Will Snelling plays at Essendon. Caleb Daniels plays at Western Bulldogs. He was the most efficient player in the AFL. Played against him. He used to play at South Adelaide. Declan Hamilton got drafted. We were in the same team. He went to the Western Bulldogs. He didn't play a game though.
Didn't play a game.
Didn't play a game. He was there for 3 years. Good player. Jordan Sweet. I used to work with him at IGA. His brother actually at IGA
Really?
backpacking, and his brother Jordan's this massive 6'4". He plays at I think he plays at Western Bulldogs now. Yeah, he plays at Western Bulldogs. So
Yeah, wow.
there's a few more too. I used to live with a few of the.
Are you
AFL.
still in touch with them?
Yeah. I met up with John Noble on the weekend.
Actually, I saw that on
Went
your,
to the
on your
Anzac Day
TikTok.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live with some of the guys that play for the Power. They now play for different teams.
Yep.
So I lived with Jarman Impey, still pretty close with him. Tom
Fun.
Cleary, Dusty Burn-Jones.
We'll have to get them on here.
Yeah,
when they're
that'd
in
be awesome.
Brizzy.
They're nice guys, really, really good people, and just incredibly good at sport.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, when it's your life, again, it's like the same
That's their job.
same deal as us. Waking
Yeah.
up in the morning, you're prepping and you're getting your shit done and
Yeah.
going out and going hard at it.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and then so my sales career actually started when I was at West Adelaide.
So what did you do? What did you sell first?
Transport.
So you've
No, actually, no. Actually, no. I'm wrong. I started selling solar
Ooh.
while I was playing footy.
What year was that?
Oh God, you're testing me now. I reckon that was.
I have no idea what years
2015?
Adelaide did shit in.
2016. Yeah, it wasn't long. The company actually ended up going under.
Yeah, they were just getting the rebate scheme money.
Yeah, and then I went into.
Thanks, Kevin Rudd.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then I went into I went into my old footy coach, Damien Minavini, at West Adelaide. He was the state manager at Capital Transport. I shouldn't give him a plug, should I?
It's all right.
They're competitors.
Yeah.
So he.
So all in logistics.
Yep, logistics.
So one of my biggest questions, because I love fucking sales. It's everything. My background: alcohol, fitness, and telco. Before I launched a bit of chap, but I loved the psychology of influencing people, like even down to like subconscious, like NLP stuff.
How sales benefited me outside of work.
Well, no, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
It's very handy
Yeah,
in social
ridiculously.
situations. They're all picking up whatever.
Ridiculous.
But selling in logistics, because we deal with logistic companies like DHL and all that, and we have our account manager. They don't do fuck all. So I want to understand what you're selling when you're in that role.
Okay. So the service you're selling is the transport that gets you the pallets or whatever delivers that door-to-door service kind of thing. So, for example...
But everyone's the same, though.
No, there's different
me.
intricacies. Yeah. So, well, look, we all do
I'm like the arsehole you come against.
Yes.
I
love objections.
No, but I'm never an arsehole to salespeople because I have so much respect. We always get hung up on. We always get talked really to.
Correct.
But because it's just like a real good salesman. And I was very lucky to learn from people like Jordan Belford and stuff like that. But a great salesperson is someone who knows their product or service and then finds the right customer where they can help benefit their business.
Explains benefits and features well to that person and relates it to them.
Yeah, but it's actually helping them. Like you're actually making them better.
Yeah.
Through using your product or service. Yeah.
You need to solve a problem. That's what sales is solving problems. And sorry. Transport logistics is like moving pallets from places to places. And you're right. It's very similar throughout whatever industry you go through. The DHL and stuff a little bit different to us because they do like like parcels and stuff like that. We
Yeah,
do sort of
yeah.
larger stuff. But lots of people will just move for $1, but lots of people will move if you solve a problem for them. So problems come from communication. They're little things though.
Yeah.
Communication. Some people just want you to listen if they complain, or they want to DIFO report every week, or they want you to come bring them donuts on a Wednesday. Some people just want you to communicate and talk to them. There's so many different things.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking about the start of this is how, you sell. You need to be able to be friends with someone to sell something to them, because you never buy something off someone you don't like.
100%. I disagree with that slightly though. I believe that you don't have to be friends. They need to respect you as a professional, because you buy off people you like, but you also buy people you respect.
Yeah.
Because if they're efficient, I don't need to like everyone, but if you're fucking good at your job,
I
and
respect what you're doing.
and I think I don't like who you are, because
Yeah.
whether we have similar beliefs or not, I'm not going to hang out with you. But
Correct.
you're really good at your job, so that ticks me off.
Correct.
Sorry, not ticks me off. That
Ticks me off.
ticks. That's a tick of approval on my end for it.
My old sales manager, he actually used to play for the Brisbane Lions. Callum Bartlett. Lots of sports people get into sales.
Oh, 100%.
Lots of
Yeah.
sports
Well,
people
it's
get into
competitive. It's
Correct.
cutthroat, and you can't sales is absolutely fucking cutthroat.
Correct.
If you can't deal with it's demoralizing.
Oh, 100%. There's days that you're like, fuck, why am I doing this? But then there's other days you're like, this is sick. But the one thing that stuck with me from him was he said there's 5 impulses that people buy on. It's called gifts.
Yep.
It's called
I've not heard of this.
So 5 impulses, gifts, they're
Yep.
called. Greed,
Yep.
indifference, fear of missing out, the Jones theory, and sense of urgency.
What's the Jones theory?
The Jones theory is like,
Oh,
everyone else in your street has got
Yeah.
it. Why haven't you got it?
keeping up with the Joneses.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So
That's
that's
the same as FOMO.
yeah, well, kind of sense of urgency is
Yeah.
like, we've got a promotion. These rates are not going to last for another 2 weeks.
Yep.
You need to take this now, or in 2 weeks' time they're going to be gone.
Yeah, okay.
And you can kind of see what people fit those categories when you know about that and you research it and you learn about it, and then you go to a meeting and you meet that person. You go, okay, what's his impulse? Like, if I talk about money, does he go like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah.
or if I'd say like, if indifference means like, if that person wants to be the boss, the big guy, he wants to feel like he's in control.
Yep.
You know, make it seem like that person's making the decision.
Decisions. Yeah, yeah.
But you're sort of articulating the
Guiding
conversation.
him.
That's you got him. So yeah, I think I got okay at that, and just communicating with people and finding out what they wanted and what they needed, or what they wanted to do, whether they wanted to just have someone to listen to them and complain to.
Did you like niche out, like your logistic companies that you worked for? Were they like niche? Like, I know one of my old friends from preschool.
Yep.
His dad started, I think it was a company called High Tech Express.
Okay.
And
High tech. Yeah.
So they exited out of that.
Yep.
But he started that because he worked for Toll, I think, as well.
Okay.
And then he just specialized in all medical equipment.
Yep.
So I remember we were moving like $5 million radiography machines and like ultra stuff. But that was like, we specialized in it. And I was like the trucky hand. So this Santa Claus old
Dude
fella.
with a beard and a wife beater.
I just remember it was probably the best job I had. I think it was like maybe 17 or 18. It was before I went to the States at college. And I remember I would just be like, I would have a massive weekend and I'd just rock up at 6 o'clock in the morning with my lunch.
Yep.
Sit in the truck and we'd like drive to Gympie. And I just like tap out. I couldn't even help it. I just said, mate, I'm just going to tap out. He's like, yep, no worries.
No worries.
And then we just stop for a smoko, have obviously didn't smoke, but just had a sandwich that I'd made and then cruise back through.
A little snack, those little cheese and biscuit
Snacks.
things.
So you got into what, and you've stayed in that career
Yeah, I've
since.
stayed in that
What
industry.
do you love about it to stay in it? Because I don't, like at the moment, logistics are fucked with everything that's
Transport
going
isn't
on.
glamorous.
No.
It's not glamorous, and there's so much there's so much. A lot of it's letting people down, and just solving problems on the fly.
Yeah.
And dealing with people that just have no common sense.
Yep.
But I don't think so much that I've enjoyed it. I just think that I've been good at it, and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I
You've
haven't-
learned the industry.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've developed a career and I've been promoted and, you know, I'm in a good position now. But, you know, if bloody Apple offered me a job in tech sales or as the lead of the tech sales, their sales manager, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
Transport, man. I can't leave transport. Yeah, absolutely
But
But
it's in high demand, mate, because it's so hard to get someone good. I know, like, especially after that. What was that tanker that got beached in the canal?
I don't know.
There's that giant freight ship, and it just wrecked the
Not
entire.
us.
It was like in the middle of COVID.
No, I don't know.
It wrecked the world.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It's
The world's on fire.
what's the? Can you look that up?
Can you look that up for us?
Tanker
that wrecked the world.
Shipping container ship. What do you call them?
Shipping container.
Barges.
I don't know. I've never been asked that question. I've been asked
A
lot of
sea
questions.
freighter, I think you call them.
A cargo freighter.
Cargo freighter.
Yeah. A container.
Because I think a Mazda container sunk.
Yep.
And there was like 20,000 cars on that, just in
Wow.
the middle of the
See you
ocean,
later.
brand new.
Insurance would have been loving that.
Well, yeah, this giant freight container, it blocked the canal.
Yeah.
Is it the Panama Canal? I think it was the Panama Canal. And like literally they're going to court because all of the major shipping companies are owned like
Yep.
by Portugal or Turkey or something. There's just like for tax reasons. And the captain is being fully investigated, being held criminally liable because he drove it into, because as soon as you go into this canal, essentially you have tugboats all around you spotting, and there was a massive crosswind. Did you find out what? The Suez Canal.
Suez Canal.
What was?
What was the boat's name?
The boat.
How big was the boat?
The horse's name was Friday.
The boat's name.
Your mic's not on, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I could hear him.
Oh, I just must be
How
mine.
about that?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I had it.
Suez Canal.
What did it drop?
It was like,
So it dropped cargo.
No, it didn't. It just beached itself and wedged it. The wind. There was a really strong crosswind.
Yeah.
And he came into the corner, and the whole thing just like went sideways
Wow.
and jammed itself across the entire canal. So every
Oh, no one could get through.
single ship, like there almost was a collision because the guy behind him was following too closely.
Gosh.
Like, it was just like a total fuck up.
Wow.
And it was in the middle of COVID when everything's already maxed out for freight wise.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Oh.
Bro,
Oh, wow.
how the
Picture
hell?
with a massive evergreen on it.
How the hell have you not heard of that? Like literally, it's like
That
it
must be living
wrecked.
under a rock.
There's still like that's why there was like 2 months worth of ships on the port of LA.
Wow.
Still,
What?
Are
Have
you-
I never heard about this?
what the fuck?
Yeah, we suck. Transport sucks, man. But yeah, look, I think it's a good industry to begin a sales career in as well.
Yeah.
Because it's so cutthroat.
So when you get it there on your first day, you're just like on the phone, you get a cold call list.
So when you start off, that's what it is. It's calling companies, asking for meetings, rocking up, solidifying the relationship.
But are you
closing
are you
deals.
specializing in anything? Specializing?
Yeah, we specialize in transport, so we specialize in
But like big
one
freight, small freight,
palletized freight.
pallet size freight.
Palletized freight, yep. So anything on a pallet.
Okay, it just doesn't matter wherever in the world.
No, local.
Only in Australia.
Yeah, no.
What's-
So local is in when I was doing in Adelaide.
Only Adelaide. See, that's a specialization.
Do you reckon?
Yes,
Probably.
100%.
But there's like
That's
8
a
other
niche.
people that do it there.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's still your
okay,
niche.
well, yeah, local freight.
Yeah.
Freight. But
Because DHL or whatever, they are
they do
global.
everything. Yeah.
That's their thing. Then you've got like your container ship people. They're the containers
Yep.
and only by water. And then you've got
You got the guys that move chemical
got-
technology.
chemical stuff. Oh, tech stuff.
Yeah.
We had when we did Germ Killer, because we were I'm one of 2 people in the world to be able to buy from Bundaberg Distillery direct.
There you go.
And we have to. It's a dangerous good.
Yep.
So you have to have special
Class.
3.
Flammable.
So you had to have because our IBC is full of 96% ethanol,
Oh wow.
and
Extremely flammable.
they had to like go back. Get this though, I
What?
can have 2 ton of ethanol in 250 ml bottles or 10 litre bottles in my van,
Packaged.
packaged.
Yeah.
Exactly the same, but I can't have one giant
IBC.
one IBC.
Because it's packaged DG or it's bulk DG. It's what it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's not. Look, it's not a glamorous industry, but yeah, I think
it's probably the most essential though, especially now things are
Everything's
moving
transported.
online.
everything's transported.
Yeah,
Everything. Like you're so vain to know how did this couch get here?
yeah, exactly.
How did these mics get here? How did
Yep.
these headphones get here?
Yep.
So yeah, and then I was working for a company in Adelaide, and I wanted to move to Queensland, so I got another job at a different company doing the same position in Queensland.
Yep.
And while I was in Queensland, COVID actually hit. So we were put on temporary.
So you just moved up here?
just moved,
Oh my god!
and then
I've not even known this
Yeah.
through all the conversations.
crazy. Hey,
That's
I think I was
wild.
here. I reckon I was 3 or 4 months in, and then COVID hit. So my job that I've got no one here, by the way. Like it was just me and my girlfriend at the time and her
Yep.
family. My job, my income just stopped because we were put on temporary variation, which is
Wild.
basically
yeah.
them saying they can't pay us because they've got no work as well. So I went and sought out part-time work at a meat packing place. We used to pack all the meat for Woolies and Coles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was it called? In Heathwood. Anyway, regardless. And they just they had us on temporary variation. And then my company sort of sought me out. And they're like, "Oh, what are you doing? You know, we've got this position that you can really build in and make your own. Are you interested?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to get out."
When was this? Because COVID, I remember
COVID was still a thing.
Yeah, well, I just moved. So I flew from Brisbane, Amsterdam, while I went into Abu Dhabi on the way over.
Wow.
Literally, everyone was wearing masks except for me. And
You're like, what's going on?
I called Sarah, and she's a doctor, by the way, just so people know.
That's the perfect time for that button.
And yeah, so I was like, why is everyone wearing masks? She's like, COVID. I was like, what the fuck is
Stop doing
COVID?
that. Now we're done.
Too busy working. And then, but I did Amsterdam, 24 hours on the ground there, jumped back on a plane, landed back in Abu Dhabi, and they're in full hazmat suits this
What?
time. And I'm like, what the
You
fuck?
thought the zombie apocalypse was coming or
Yeah.
something.
And then I got back in the country, and it was like the 1st of March or something.
Yep.
And then Australia went into lockdown 3rd of March or that week.
Yep.
Because I was like, whoa, I almost got quarantined. And then, then it all blew up.
I think
So was that after that?
yes, it was. Was it? Yes, it was. Yeah. No, it was the first round of COVID because we had actually
everyone went in lockdown.
we actually had planned a Europe trip in June, end of May, start of June. We're going to Greece, Italy, and Croatia, and we had to cancel that. So that's that was at the start of that. But it was just insane. Like I don't think anyone had ever. Well, you'd never seen anything like this other than
No, it literally was
flu or-
portrayed as if it was Ebola, but highly contagious.
Yeah.
And like I was planning hard
Yeah.
for both the business and also just life.
In general,
Everyone's
yeah.
buying toilet paper. I was buying bullets.
Luke's in his basement with a gun.
Seriously, I was.
You
'Cause,
actually?
Yeah, ammunition went through the roof. So like it doubled in price. So I was like,
I want some.
it's barter.
Yeah.
And if I want toilet paper, I'm like, may I please have some toilet paper? No.
Bang.
Just give me your fucking toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why toilet paper,
And we make it in Queensland. The Quilton factory's here.
but I just don't understand why it was like literally. I feel like it started in Australia
Scare tactic.
and then went viral all around the world
Yeah.
because America had a massive toilet
Really?
paper shortage as well.
Wow.
But why the fuck?
Why toilet paper?
We
Not like sanitizer or germ killer. or
bro,
something.
just use a fucking hose. Like you'll
Or
have a
your socks.
shower.
Yeah.
You're in your house. I don't understand why toilet paper is a big deal.
You never wiped your ass with your sock
Yeah,
before.
all the old clothes you've had in your life
Yep.
that you haven't thrown away.
Oh.
Time to burn.
That's one way to stop hoarding.
It literally blew my mind. I was literally laughing.
Use your hand and wipe it in the shower.
Yeah, I just bought bullets.
Yeah.
That was it.
Instead.
I think it was a good choice.
I don't think I ever had a situation where I didn't have toilet paper though. There was-
Camping?
No. As in during COVID.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have a situation where I was like,
Nah,
I'm
neither
on
did
my
I.
last one square of toilet paper, and like ripping off corners to use it.
Do you know what really pisses me off?
What's that?
The people who use all the toilet paper
Yeah.
and they leave one square left.
Oh.
Or they use the last square and I'm like, fuck off.
Or they
You
use everything.
perfectly timed. Yeah, there's nothing left.
There's
I'm
just
like,
the roll, yeah.
bullshit, you wiped perfectly. Like there's no way. You still have you are still
There's
contaminated.
no way. There's poop in your butt. You have poop on your butt.
It blows my mind. I'll be at like friends' houses or whatever. I'm like,
You should buy a lotto ticket.
like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? He's like, what? I'm like, you did not use the perfect amount of toilet paper to wipe your shit off
I
your
have a
ass.
hilarious story about that.
Do it.
I was at Hungry Jack's during my job, and the
When
one
you-
thing about my job is that when you're in between meetings, you there's no toilet. Like I don't want to.
Yeah,
use
you're
my
on the
client's
road.
Toilet, yeah.
Yeah.
So you do strategic toilet break at McDonald's or Hungry Jack's like that. Someone can just go in and out
Yeah.
without blink of a flash. And I was in this cubicle, and I'm doing my thing, dropping off some timber, and there was no toilet paper. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, I'm in a suit. I can't just take off my sock because if I sit down in a meeting, they see I've got one sock on, which, I've never done before anyway. So I've had to call this McDonald's to, sorry.
That's actually really smart.
To get them to bring me, but it was only girls working at their front counter. So she's like, I can't bring it in. I was like, there's no one else in here, please. Like, I'm sweating on this toilet.
And then you have to clean it up.
I will pick it up out of the toilet and I'll write my name on your wall. And I don't think she fully understood what I was talking about. So I was in there for 15 minutes, I think. And some dude walked in and I was like, man, he was taking a leak. And I was like, man, this is
Hook
so
a brother
awkward.
up.
Yeah. I was like, this is so awkward. Can you sort of see in the next cubicle if there's only toilet paper? I'm like, I'm in here doing my thing and there's no toilet paper. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, man, I've got no, can you please just see this? He's like, man, there's no toilet paper. And I was like, can you go ask the front counter for toilet paper or something like that? And I was in there for 20 minutes, I think, just in hopes that this guy was a good person.
You're lucky it was like a city McDonald's 100X. Imagine if you were in there, it was like
Logan
4 hours.
and someone took
no,
my
not even that. Just like a rural one. It's like the one beside the freeway. You're like in there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And you left your phone in the
Oh
car.
my God, you're in Warwick.
That's when
You're in trouble.
you're using.
You start yelling for help in the toilet. And some poor little girl's walking past and you, help. I'm just, so that was my one time. I'm like, I'm going to have to MacGyver something here. I'm like looking around the toilet for something I could use and there's nothing.
I've used the toilet tube once.
The
no
brown?
paper on it. The brown tube.
No, you haven't.
I have.
What, you scraped it out?
Yeah.
This podcast's taking a big left turn right now.
I know. Well, we're just talking real talk.
That's hilarious. So
yeah, it was
can
a
you
lot.
Explain to me what happened there.
So no. I
Was
can't-
it here?
No, it wasn't. Not at work. We're fully stocked on toilet paper here at the
so
Bearded
much
Chap.
toilet paper.
No, I was out somewhere. I think I was camping. I was coming back, so it was pretty remote.
Yeah.
And it was one of those like dodgy bathrooms that you'd expect like a glory hole, and what those random
Travis was here.
yeah, and those random condom machines that have like
Rippled and
the French tickler and like the Bugatti monster or whatever.
Clitoris sing.
Yeah, and it's literally walked in, and it was one of the ones where, it just had the one roll, and I just hadn't looked, and it was like big weekend. I think I was with the boys. I can't remember.
No serotonin.
And literally rolled off too, and I'm like, mother of God. So I did as much as I could, like we double and double and double. So did that, and then I was like, there's still more.
No.
So we just I used both sides and scraped it.
I can't.
It's just like when if you're doing tiling, just.
What sort of analogy is that? Oh my God!
And then I went to
cement. You're like a bricklayer, and you've got to get the excess cement off.
Yeah. Then I went into the next one, and there was some, so I finished off.
Did you do the old like walk around,
Oh, yeah.
pants around the ankles, and like
Yeah, you're
try not
making
to
sure
squeeze
you
your butt cheeks together?
Yeah, you got to make sure that doesn't happen. Otherwise,
Oh my God!
that's the worst situation.
Could you
I've
imagine
been.
someone's walking and you've just got like this smeared crap between your butt, like a 2-year-old, probably less than. Can you poop a 2-year-old by yourself?
100%. Yeah.
6-month-old.
We're looking at Ryan.
Can you Google that, Ryan?
Ryan's like,
How
what
old do
the
you get toilet
hell are you
trained?"
guys talking about?
Yeah.
So one thing I know that you love is golf.
Yes.
How
do
did you
love
get into
golf.
that? Because I got into it like just after I graduated
Yep.
school, just after I got back from college actually,
Yeah.
and I loved it because I don't know. I love the etiquettes of stuff. So like
Yep.
going to the golf
The
course,
formalities of it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
and beautiful places to go to as well.
It's relaxing.
And then it's also patience and discipline. And so I literally built a chipping green
Yep.
/ putting green on
That's
mum and
awesome.
dad's back lawn. And I would literally wake up
Yep.
every morning, hand roll it,
That's
like
so
sand
sick.
it. It was my pride and joy for
Wow.
like 6 months. I wake up before work. So it was like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Always, I was so excited about it.
That's
and then
so cool.
I just sucked at it. So
Stopped.
I stopped, but I do enjoy a game of golf, and I got some lessons from a pretty good dude on the club, and literally 15 minutes when you actually listen.
It's insane. Hey?
Oh my God! So I recorded myself because I know I'm going to forget it because it's so long in between. But yeah, how did you get into golf?
I actually started playing golf when I moved to Queensland. Actually, I would have gone to the driving range and stuff in Adelaide. It's not a big golf culture there, but I started playing golf just with mates, and I was horrendous. And I think that's why I liked it. It sort of was another sport that I could put some time and passion into now that I've taken a step back from footy and focus and try and get good at it again. By the way, I'm not amazing at golf. I just enjoy it. It's an expensive.
Oh shit! What handicap are you playing on?
Oh, I don't even have a handicap. You have to be a member to have a handicap. So, my handicap is golf.
Yeah, excellent.
The sport is my handicap.
You're pretty good though. If you were a member, what would you be?
Oh, no, nothing crazy. Probably like 20, 25. Which, I've never had a lesson. I've been playing. I reckon I've been playing for 14, 15 months.
Yeah.
So I think I like it because I'm not good at it. But it's also an expensive thing to not be good at.
It is.
It's an expensive thing to not be good at. So yeah, I got into golf just through mates at footy. My ex's dad liked to play golf. My housemates at the time, actually, shout out to Nick and Ben, love golf. Nick's a really good golfer too. So his uncle was a golf pro. So he had golf lessons when he was really young, and I'd just go out and play with him and sort of watch him, and like it looks so easy, but it's not. It's not easy. There's so much that can go wrong, from where your feet are facing to where your hips finish to how you're holding the club, if you choke down on the club at all, if your club face is open, if you keep your head on the ball, if your head's in front or behind the ball, where your shoulders finish. Like there's so much that can go wrong.
Have you ever done a hole in one?
Never once. I can't even fathom these guys.
I've had an eagle.
Really?
Yep.
I've hit birdies. I've never had an eagle.
Had an eagle.
On a par
biggest,
three.
Yeah, it's the biggest flick of my life.
Oh,
I don't even know what it was.
You're a sportsman.
I just sunk it, and I was like, everyone lost their shit, and I'm like, yeah, it went in. And they're like, no, that's a fucking eagle, bro. I went, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's sick.
I just remember Greg Norman.
He's got a few courses in Queensland, actually.
Yeah. And that infamous picture on Instagram.
Which one?
The one of him walking on the beach.
No.
That blew up.
Never seen it.
Oh, mate. It's hilarious.
I'll have to see it. You'll have to show me.
I will.
Is he clothed?
Semi.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know what picture you're talking
You know
about. Yes, I know what picture I'm talking about.
Yeah, he kind of dropped off the radar for ages, and then because he pretty much packed up and moved to the US.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even call him Australian anymore.
Craig, is it Craig Smith, the Brisbane golfer that lives in the States?
Adam Smith.
Smith. What did I say? Craig
Smith.
Craig Smith. No, is it Adam Smith or is it Craig Smith?
No, it's Adam Smith.
Are you sure? Can we Google that?
Yeah, it's Adam Smith.
Brisbane golfer. Is it Craig Adam Smith? Someone Smith. Anyway, but yeah, I think I got in golf just through my sort of socialite friends that would go play, and yeah, we'd go play on the weekends. And
do you take it seriously though?
100%. I take every single. I don't care if we're playing Uno. If I'm playing bocce with my grandma, I'm winning.
See,
I want to win.
I am opposite. I'm hyper competitive as well when I know I can win something.
Who was it?
Adam.
I told you it was Adam Smith.
1 point, Luke.
Tick. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked it for the social stuff, but we just did crazy shit. Like I love driving. I love driving cars and doing stunts and stuff like that. So the places I've taken golf carts and like the stuff we've done to them.
Yeah. I
remember like even being on a golf course and got like guys laying down with people standing on them, dragging him along the course.
Yeah. Freed at the front of the cart, and they're pushing him along. Awesome.
It's insane. But I enjoyed that, and then like having cigars, and if you're on a really good course, I used to love going to St. Lucia.
Yeah.
It was challenging.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you took some big chunks out of the grass.
Yeah.
So
there's no pristine sort of but in saying that, it is a good course, and when you play somewhere, I think like Glades, which is down the coast, it could cost you $90 a round.
Yeah.
That's when you want to take your time, and I think overthinking golf is your worst enemy too, because when you overthink your shot and fuck, I want to hit this good.
I think everyone overthinks just hitting it hard.
Yes.
And
it's not about that.
When I learned about right club selection and then being slow, you're fucking on. It's more about accuracy than length.
Well, it's about compressing the ball.
Yeah.
With the club face and having a good divot and a good swing through. And your golf swing finishes after the ball's gone. And that has so much impact on where your ball goes to. But yeah, so it's just a great sport. I think, you can go out 6 o'clock on I don't know when you want to play. I like going early on a Sunday morning, 7 o'clock. You go there for 4 hours, or, if you want to go with your mates, you got 12 o'clock and you have a drink a hole, and it starts to get pretty rusty towards the end of it.
Do you bet? Do you have bets with people?
Yeah, it's not often, like who could hit the lowest score at the end of the game, like we usually say, like by the first round or something like that.
We do hole betting.
Hole betting.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Who
like-
hits the lowest score, or would you have it sort of
Who
like
wins the
one-on-one?
hole? Like, it'd be money on the hole.
Oh, it's like a kitty.
Yeah. No, like each round. So, like, you can stitch someone up.
Oh, wow.
Like,
I've lost so much money.
Yeah, bro. I've only played that twice, and I lost every single time.
What sort of
It's like-
money are you betting on a hole?
One of the games, we got up to like $100.
On a hole?
Hole.
On one hole?
Yeah. So there's
So there was bets on previous holes too?
Yeah. We just
Wow.
we just start off really low, and then like the confidence of the other players would go up, and then you'd go, oh yeah, this hole's all right, and then you'd smack it, and you'd be on a winner, and you're like, yeah, and then you could literally clean up on one hole and get up like $400.
Wow.
And then another hole,
Start
everyone's
playing
like,
golf with your mates.
everyone's like, oh, we haven't had a game of golf in a long time. They're, like literally, I find that fun though.
Yeah.
Because it makes it, well, you have something to play for.
Correct.
I'm a huge risk man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're like, you would...
Man, my risk level is like wild.
Yeah.
People think like,
This didn't start from nothing.
no, exactly. Well, I have to be risk tolerant, but like even, I don't know, I'm just so
Risque.
risque. I will do things people are like, what the actual fuck? And I'm like, that's not even a risk.
That's not...
Like, it's a sure
I
bet.
did this before breakfast.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you mean like gambling risk, or as in...
I do
would you
enjoy-
go to casino and...
I
drop
do enjoy
$1,000 on
gambling. See,
black?
when I was little, right? Because my parents never gambled.
Right.
And I didn't know anything about it. So I'd
Yeah.
go to the casino and had no money when I was little. And I would,
I went to the casino, I had no money when I was little.
like when I was young.
18,
so, 18, 19. We had fake IDs when we were 17.
I did
Like,
too.
legit ones, though. We went to Queensland Transport.
Oh, what?
Fucking hope there's not like retrace that. We had literally, I am a whole nother person.
What was your fake name? What was your alias?
Darren Juby. Shout out to you.
No way.
Yeah, and the funniest one was my mate Scoot. He got a fake one. Same. I went with him on the day as well, and he was hilarious because he's like blonde hair, blue eyes, and he got a fucking Asian.
No way.
Like,
Did it work?
Yeah, Philip Marsh, that was his name, and he got it.
Wow.
I don't know how. Like, you could never do it now.
Yeah.
And back then, the Queensland IDs were like laminated together, and they were so dodgy. I've still got it.
Yeah.
Like, just from memorabilia.
That's awesome.
But we used to. What was I talking about again?
Fake ID, casino.
Oh, casino. So we go out and go out with some of my mates, and they were from pretty well families,
Yeah.
and I would go out and I'd be like, oh, and just like bet my money. I had no money, so I'd be like betting. I'm like, I need to win, and I'd always lose, and I'd walk out. I'm like, fuck.
Why'd I do
But-
that? You get
but-
those regrets.
But I'd never like keep tipping in.
Yeah.
I'd like that was the only rule I had. And then I'd always go out with there was like one guy in particular. He's a good friend up in Rocky, big cattle farmer.
Yep.
And literally he would always win. Every single time we come back, he'd have like $4,000. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how? Like, what do you do? And he's like, man, the way I treat gambling is that is my money and entertainment. So
Yep.
it'd be exactly the same if you go to a strip club.
Yeah.
It's like you burn through that, that's entertainment, it's done.
Yep.
And he's like, once it's done, it's done. But whether I play one hand or if I'm in the casino for like 10 hours, if I've spent 10 hours and I lose everything at the end of it, walk away, happy free.
Yep.
As soon as I changed my mentality like that, started winning.
What?
Literally started winning. It's like fucking luck.
Guaranteed to win, guys, by the way.
Guaranteed. But like literally, it was just attitude. So I'd
Yeah.
start having fun, like communicating with everyone. Because before I'd be like, oh, just like
Oh,
watching the number,
shit,
like
yeah.
fucking win.
Counting cards.
Like no, well, I was shit at math, so I didn't really count cards at all. But I would just like love the atmosphere, love the chat at the table.
Intensity too.
So and like make friends with the dealers and learn the game. Like when you go to a casino, it's actually super friendly. But even at Vegas, I've been to Vegas 4 times.
What?
Every single time I've walked away with a ton of money.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your
100%.
biggest hole?
15K.
What?
But it was my first time in Vegas.
Yeah.
I was at the craps table.
Yep.
I was like a family holiday.
Right.
So me and my sister were just cruising around a casino, just doing a bit of gambling. And I was at the craps table, and it was like, this is where I fell in love with Vegas because it was like the epitome. So on the chocolate wheel, rocked up, first time, boom, $500
Wow.
straight away.
You're like, I'm on here.
Yeah. And then went over, was that the Hard Rock Casino there? And then we went across to, I don't even know where we ended up because they're just feeding us drinks. Went into this craps table, right? And it was packed. So like both ends were solid.
Yep.
and the crew there was out of control. There's like sledging, there's like just fun time. Everyone was against the casino, so we're all having fun. I ended up getting a roll, and I rolled for 45 minutes straight.
What?
Yeah, like I didn't snake eyes out or luck out on the dice.
What?
And so I got up all my money there, and literally there was one guy who did $250,000 he made on me rolling, and another person who made 150, and then they both tipped the dealer 10 grand each, like 10 grand chip, and then they walked away. And I was like, oh, that was fucking cool. Like I got up, and the dealer was like, well, number one, they should have tipped you as well because you
won the
fucking
money.
you rolled for 45 minutes. That's such a hot streak.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I was just like, yeah, getting pissed. And then the second thing was, he's like, if you had been betting on this line, you would have been up $500,000. And I was like, you can't tell me that. He goes, I couldn't tell you because it can't influence your betting.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I had fun. I didn't care. I was just like, what?
Imagine coming home from your family holiday. with
USD.
$500,000.
And that was like, oh, man.
Wow.
Anyway, that was my... Yeah, I love that type of gambling. But
Yeah.
even now, I'll gamble. I love the adrenaline rush.
What do you gamble on now?
Enjoy blackjack.
Yep.
I'll do random roulettes.
Do you like the pokies?
Nah, fuck no.
The brickies laptop?
I hate the pokies. I do not know how anyone in their right mind gets addicted to pokies.
I'm not addicted. I like going to the pokies.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's the anticipation of, I've never won the jackpot, by the way, but about winning the jackpot. I like going to the casino. I like playing blackjack.
Yeah.
But if I'm pissed at a pub, like I'll chuck $50 through the pokies.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
I think I'm way down overall.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the
Sports
biggest
bet
win I
has-
got $400. That's it. At
Yeah.
a poker machine.
I've won
There's nothing fun about it. You literally like pressing a button,
It's
burning
luck.
your money. I'd rather burn my fucking money
Yeah.
and make content out of it.
Well, yeah, or
Like, it's way more
get a
entertaining.
$50 note, just light
It's
it
just
up.
lights flashing. You just like bang, 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 bang. And if you're doing max bet on $100, it's literally like
Life savings.
10 spins and you're done.
Yeah.
Well, no, 4 spins if it's a $25 machine.
There's
That's-
not much intellect to it. Whereas if you go to like play blackjack, or
It's
something
not even
like
entertaining. Like, you watch trash on TV
Yeah.
because it's entertaining. It's literally like, what's the show I've been watching lately? I forget. It's about these people. and
Yeah.
They're unhinged or something it's called. And there's like people who are about to want to get married but they don't want to get married. Or their partner doesn't want to get married. So they have the ultimatum.
We've watched an episode of that too.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
And then they just swap partners and then they pretty much
There's some weird
fucking other people for a whole month.
just to see if they enjoy it with that person.
And then they go back to the normal one,
Yeah.
and then they expect everything to be all right. I'm like, you guys are all... I think everyone like pretty much broke up.
Yeah. What?
Oh, two people apparently still getting engaged.
There's some very questionable Netflix TV shows out there at the moment, I think.
It's good though.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I like it secretly.
Do you like
It's just trash.
Do you like this you like the reality TV kind of
Well, you think
maths?
that... so in COVID, like obviously Netflix blew up, and then it just bombed last week with its earnings, lost 1 million customers or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it crashed hard.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, they had... What was that? Tiger King.
Yep.
Came out.
Yep.
That was like the most watched Netflix series of all
Yeah.
time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Wow.
Then I don't know about now. And then
Oh no, isn't it
now that was that
that
Korean
game one? Squid Games.
Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one that overtook it.
Did you watch that?
Did
Did you like it?
amazing,
Great.
amazing.
Great show.
I would consider playing it
That's a risk taker there in you.
if I had cancer. I'd probably have a crack.
Yeah. Look, what have you got to lose?
Your life.
Your life.
No, I thought it was pretty clever, and
Even though it was in Korean, I've never watched a movie that's been.
I watched it with dubbed,
Yep, I did too. But-
not subtitled.
Oh yeah, sorry, I did too. But what I'm saying is like, you know, how you can see the mouth moving.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not what that person's saying.
Yeah,
I've never watched a movie like that before because I just lose interest. I'm like, this is shit.
yeah. It's like that.
But that had me on
magic.
the edge of my seat. The
Yeah,
entire time.
it was really well done. But I think there was the other one where there was the Aussie guy on it. It was a dating show, Love Island.
Yep. Oh no, Too Hot to Handle.
Too Hot to Handle.
Harry Jowsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Rooster.
blowing up over in the
Hasn't
US
he ever?
now.
He was living there.
He's got his own podcast as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever come to Australia, Harry?
We'll
Come
Harry,
on.
Yeah.
Come on.
We got you, man.
But yeah, literally that went wild and I couldn't even believe it.
Well, there was another.
It was actually pretty good though.
There was another Aussie on there. I think she lives on the sunny coast.
Oh yeah. She's annoying as
Georgia.
fuck.
Yeah. No, she's not.
She was annoying. I didn't rate her.
Well, I don't think she got as massive as Harry. Like Harry,
Because she was fucking crazy.
I don't think I watched the season 2. Did I? Oh no, I did. I reckon I did.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was great.
It's just lots of consistent drama, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always something happening. And it's like just a bunch of horny people that want to have sex but can't, but do it.
Do you know what impressed me more? That those people actually are put in a situation and like shout out to them. They actually have really hard conversations that most people would never actually
in their
have.
everyday life.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
Like in their life.
Yeah.
Would have. And it's pretty cool some of the stuff that they went
They
through.
break through and stuff like that.
Yeah, the thing I liked about the best was that it was one of the few shows that I think that people were being, to start off with, they were putting on the facade.
Yep.
But by the end,
You got to see the real them.
yeah, they kind of lost the
They kind of like...
the camera was on. I think they still play up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, when someone goes on a show and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize that we couldn't have sex," and it's a month, like I can't. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna die.
yeah, the second one, this couple, they pretty much fucked everything. They like almost lost all the
Yeah.
money. It was hilarious,
Yeah.
and everyone else was just hating
Would you
on
be
it.
pissed if you're on that show and you like there was
Fuck no.
one couple just like going ham?
I wouldn't have done it for the money.
I'm talking like hand jobs. I'm talking.
If I
Single.
was gonna go on a show like that and I was single,
It's the clout.
It's the clout. It's you're building your personal brand, however you want to portray yourself on there. But you don't give a fuck about the money because
Yeah.
if you make yourself like either a villain or a hero,
Yeah.
or you're interesting, like Harry did after.
Yep.
You're set. Like you literally can leverage way more than the fucking $50,000 they were going to give you just alone. You know what I mean?
Have you ever been asked to go on a TV show or anything like that?
No. I think the only one I wanted to try out for was Survivor.
I've been asked over Instagram a few times.
What?
Yeah.
For what shows?
Multiple times.
What shows?
Love Island,
No.
The Bachelor,
Oh, really?
First Dates. I actually had an email, a DM from one of the people from Warner Brothers or something like that, and they're like, "We're auditioning for The Bachelor, and we'd love to get your tape in."
How cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
How cool is that?
Okay.
Yeah. So, I didn't do it because I was dating my girlfriend. So
Yeah.
that'd be a conflict of interest.
Miss Universe.
Miss Universe,
Free.
Australia, Queensland.
Going to be Miss Universe.
But yeah, I've been asked multiple times, and they just find you on Instagram. There's. Have you ever heard of those stories that people go to?
Yeah,
bars and
yeah.
they come up.
Yeah,
to you
yeah,
and
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good looking dude, so.
like, depends who's looking at me.
I think if you had to go on that show, you definitely would have been a crowd favorite.
Yeah, I've always wondered. I've wanted to go on a TV show always. So if there's any producers out there, I was actually on Netflix though once
Doing
as a backup dancer.
for
I'm exposing myself here. For a TV show called Yummy Mummies,
yeah.
and Margarita was the mum of the girl that was on the show, and she was friends with my dad, and I was doing modelling and what else in Adelaide at the time and
Yep.
acting and whatnot, and she was like, "Oh, can your son dance? Like we need some good looking people to dance," and just so happens I could shake my hips. And and
not stereotyping here at all.
No.
That's just being.
I'm Indian, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know. It's just an internal joke.
yeah, hilarious though. And then so I reckon I was on there for 8-9 seconds in the back dancing.
Oh, nice.
Me and
Famous.
This other guy, Nathan, you know what it is. But
So, were you with current girlfriend when you got asked to do those or previous?
Both.
Why didn't you? If you knew it was any in the last one, why didn't you go?
I was holding on to the last hope, but I should have. I
Oh
definitely should have.
man,
Yeah.
that would have been great.
Yeah, I should have. I always wanted to, but it was just the wrong place, it was the right place, right time for me. I had a girlfriend that I
Yeah.
loved and whatever
Yeah.
at the time, obviously with my one at the moment.
Yeah.
And it just never happened to be at the right time where I was
It's probably a good thing though, because if the people don't like you, you are fucked.
Yeah, well, that's right. They
Like-
can just portray you however they want.
Yeah. But I don't think you'd be portrayed as a bad person.
I'd try
like,
not to be.
There's like, if I went on, I'd be a bad person.
Do you reckon?
100%. 100%.
You're just too like brutal and to the point. Blunt.
Maybe, but I think like I love fuckery. Like that's why I wanted to go on Survivor.
Fuckery.
Yeah,
Like, you like playing with people.
I enjoy not playing with people. I think it's just like you're playing a game, right?
Yep.
And you like poker, you're bluffing, you're acting, you're playing the way you want people to perceive you.
Yeah.
And I think that I am good at that.
Yep.
For number one, influencing sales
Yep.
in a good way, like to improve my my customers' life or business or whatever I'm selling them at the time. But Survivor, I think is good because it's like mind games,
Yeah.
psychology. It's
There's a lot more to it than
like
just winning the
building fake
competitions.
idols and like setting up. Like it's just it's such a strategic game.
Yeah.
You're playing it. It's like a mega chess game.
I feel like Survivor is one of those shows that, you know, where Big Brother had their phase and then it dipped off and all these other shows. I feel like Survivor's been that one that's always been popular.
Yeah, it has. Well, one of my friends, Josh, he's actually a producer and
One of my friends was on Survivor.
film crew for Survivor. He just did the last one.
Oh, really? My
Yeah.
friend was on Survivor. He's from Adelaide, Robbie.
Well, Josh would know him.
Oh,
I
really?
want to get him on the podcast because I know Ryan, being a fellow videographer, wants to know everything about it because like he's done some cool shit.
Yeah.
And like literally, he can't say anything. So he's watched someone pull the wool over someone's eyes and just got to sit
He's
there
just
and
gotta-
document and
Yeah.
have no emotion. And like you're really in like they
Invested
lose their
in that.
shit in like the outback or the
Right.
islands what they're on. And he's like, bro, it's just so funny.
It's pretty good. Yeah, well, it would be. Well, if they gave it away, it'd just fuck the show, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's just like when you're observing someone
Yep.
that closely for someone else's entertainment, like it's actually fucking surreal
Yeah.
because they're acting like you're not there and you're capturing.
And you're acting like they're not there as well. That person is.
Well, no, you're acting like they are there because you're trying to get everything.
Yeah.
But you can't impede their natural actions.
No, as in like they're both acting like each other, aren't they? Like you're the videographer's there trying to be silent as possible, and the other person. on
Yeah,
the
they
TV
can't
show.
impede it. I think the person on the TV show, they can talk to the camera if they want.
You reckon?
Yeah.
What's up, camera? Would you go on Big Brother?
I actually auditioned for that.
Really?
Yep.
When?
I was 17 and I was working at a Telstra shop in Logan
Selling phone plans.
selling phone plans. That was and that was directly after I was packing container ships. I remember I was unpacking a 60-foot container with a guy who had just got out of jail 2 weeks before.
Good.
For selling an illegal firearm to an undercover cop. And I remember I walked out and I called my dad and I went,
This isn't the place for me.
this is the last fucking day I'm working this job. I'm never doing this job again.
Yeah.
And I literally quit that night. And then I got a job a week later at Telstra and started selling phones. And
Never look back.
I forgot my story. Oh, I'm so tired. I finished up at 4 a.m. this morning, so
Oh, good.
apologies for my amnesia. What was it talking about before?
Oh shit, I forgot too.
Big Brother audition.
Big
Yep.
Brother auditions. Big Brother
Oh,
auditions.
we got you right.
So we had this girl who was there, who was really cute, who worked with us. So me, her, I can't remember her name, her, and then one of her gay friends
Yep.
came along, and we got there like the night before down at Dreamworld, and literally
The auditions was at Dreamworld.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
that's where the house was.
that's where the
wasn't it?
house is, yeah. And so literally we were in the car park, and we got fucking hammered, like just drank a bottle each of vodka.
What?
In the line, like we were going back to the car and just drinking. So we were up all night and we got to the audition and I think we went in at like 10:30
Wow.
and it's like a big group
Was there a
audition.
massive line of
Oh,
people auditioning?
huge. Because it
Wow.
was for number 2.
Yeah.
So everyone knew what it was
It
now
was massive then, yeah.
and everyone was trying to get TV famous
Yeah.
before socials. And I was like, nah, I think I'd have a good time again because it's that strategy.
Mm.
And we did the games, like big group games, and they like cull people off. Like they'll be just be like, nah. You'll be half through the game, like, nah.
What?
Yeah, it's cutthroat. And I got through to the final round, and it was like it was something really weird, and I was just like, it was a real weird situation. I can't remember. They made you ask you to do something, and I was just like, nah, this is not me. And I just went, all good, and I just left.
What?
Yeah, and it was about 3:00 at that stage, so I was
Tired.
literally sweating vodka out of my veins, and just had no.
What?
Like, I don't have tolerance for that shit. I was just like, nah, I'm out. Bye.
Yep.
I'm not going to be. If I'm going to go on this show, it's going to be real Luke
Yep.
and nothing but the Luke.
Oh, Luke, nothing but the Luke.
Yeah. So that was my. That was the only thing I tried out for. Oh no, yeah, and I never actually applied for Survivor. I had a friend. He was actually making a video to get on there, and I had a mate from school. He's going to hate me for even bringing this up. He applied for the P Diddy one.
What?
And he had to make a promo. He was doing like an assistant job, and you had to like try out to be his assistant. He made a video for that, and everyone gave him shit.
Did he get through?
Fuck no. His video is absolutely horrible. However, he is an absolute legend. He's crushing at the moment. And again, that was that fortitude, like not giving a fuck what anyone says, and just being who you are. And that was like, I had so much respect for him for doing that because it sucked.
Imagine if he did get through though.
Well, you don't have a chance if you don't try.
Yeah.
So that was the most impressive thing. But now he's like a baller in London.
Oh wow.
Very successful. In
Shout out to you,
VCs.
baller in London.
Yeah, Poe. I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
He's just having he's just announced he's having a little baby soon. So yeah, excited for Poe. Dude, is there anything else you wanted to chat about?
Man, I'm an open book. It depends how into this hole you want to get into. It's like the K hole, but of me.
I
Ingesting
suppose
me as a drug.
I'm just trying to think of other things because the whole purpose of this podcast for me was to, number one, iron out all the bugs after a year not being online, and also just to like get our listeners to get to know you and like, who the fuck is this?
Who is this dude? Yeah.
So for me, because I wanted to I just didn't want to do normal interviews all the time. Sure. I love that for business side of things, which is we still do, and that's why I brought you in, because like you got that sales background, and you have that entrepreneurial spirit, so you want to actually learn more. And and this is the whole point of this whole podcast, is like breaking down and interviewing interesting people, long form, so that other people listening can actually build the roadmap and how to get there and make it possible. And actually understand
put
like
the pieces together.
Yeah, it's not like just fucking perfect. Yeah. It's like if there was a different scenario and the way the AFL was, you might have been a professional AFL player.
Sure.
But just like the whole steps and behind the scenes, because everyone sees it when they're at the start. Yeah. And then there's this big blank, and at the very end,
and then it's the finish.
It's the fucking finish, and they're like, "Oh, you overnight success." You're like, "No, motherfucker, that was 10 years. I worked my ass off, and no one got to see that, and they don't get to see the downtime or the bad shit
Everything
that happens."
Else you did when no one was looking.
Yeah, they might get a glimpse, especially nowadays with like social media, through all the awesome stuff that happens. But man, like today was a fucked day. It was a rough day. I've had like 3 hours sleep, still backing up doing a podcast, but like this is the shit that people. Balls to the wall, as my saying goes. Yeah. Need to actually do the work and get it done, you know. And I want to be able to show that
there's different avenues to take.
As a normal person, I'm just like everyone else.
Just like you guys.
Yeah, and I just want to be able to show a little bit of behind the scenes. Yeah. And when we do this and we punch out, I can't wait to have our 100th episode. Yep. Like, I am just excited. If we've inspired one person to actually go out and do what they love, or do what or start a business, or pursue a sport or a hobby, or whatever, go chase a girl, whatever. That I'll be stoked, because at least
go talk to that bartender at the Met. Do it.
Yeah, 100%. If that's your game. But for me, when I asked you to come on, I thought, because you and I have had plenty of interactions over the last 2 years. And we haven't got to know each other real well. Yep. It's been like...
But we always have good conversations.
We always have good conversations. And and you have good energy. And so...
That's ADHD.
And I have, well, vice versa, bro. Vice versa. But and I have intense energy. Yeah. So I thought it was a nice little balance. Yep. And you bring some good chat and some good vibes into the podcast.
It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait.
So I'm super, super excited. If you want to check more out TJ, what are your social handles?
Yeah, so Instagram, Teejay Halkias, TikTok, Teejay Halk. Just to
You gotta
switch it up.
spell them out.
Teejay Halkias.
We'll put them in the comments below.
Put 'em in the comments below.
And you can find the
The Bearded Chat
Bearded
podcast.
Chat podcast across all of your downloads
Mhm.
on YouTube as well. If you
Everywhere.
have any topics, because one of the things I want to do, if you're on live on our TikTok or
Ask us a question.
on our Insta, hit us up with a question, and then it might be a
Topic point in
topic
our next
point in the
podcast.
next podcast.
Or if you want us to ask a question to the next person coming on, regardless of who it is,
yeah,
put
yeah.
that in there.
So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
First of many, baby.
Woo. Done.
Woo!
Well done, brother.
Oh, that was awesome.